I got to holler at her about one recently, but it's cool though. I just appreciate the support. She's been an amazing supporter of just me and the Patriots. She wasn't a football girl before I converted her over, but I'm just thankful to have her in my corner. She's an amazing woman, and continue to build that relationship. I don't talk too much about my personal life, but she's an amazing woman. I just appreciate her, and hopefully I.
Listen up, because I'm digging through what was actually said versus what folks decided to hear, and Stefon Diggs has the internet wrapped up again. This time, though, it's not about deals, touchdowns, or baby mama debates. Nope, it's about Cardi B. Yes, Cardi B. Stefon Diggs went on record saying he's grateful to have Cardi B writing for him, explaining how she wasn't even into football before he stepped into her world. And now, look at her, front row, cheering, fully locked in, learning the game, defending her man like it's fourth end goal. Naturally, the internet did what it does best. Twisted it, dragged it, and tried to turn it into something deeper than it really is. So yeah, let's get into it. And here come the receipts, because people love pretending this fell out of the sky. In a recent interview and follow-up comments circulating across sports blogs and social media, Stefon Diggs openly talked about Cardi B backing his career. He said she wasn't into football before they linked, but now she's engaged, present, and supportive. He even credited her with helping him block out online noise and drama. And before anyone starts yelling think pieces, let's be clear, this isn't a crime, it isn't an insult, and it's not some secret coded diss. According to blind item chatter floating around, fans are split on whether he was praising her growth or quietly flexing influence, and that's exactly where the controversy popped off. Here's where it gets spicy, though Cardi B isn't just any celebrity girlfriend. This is a woman who's lived her entire adult life in public, caught heat from every angle, and survived internet hate storms that would have crushed most people. So when Diggs says she wasn't a football girl before him, that's not shade, it's context. Let's be honest. Plenty of women don't care about football until they've got a reason, and plenty of men don't suddenly care about fashion weeks, runways, or rap beef timelines until they're dating someone in that lane. That's not manipulation, that's proximity. It really makes you wonder why folks are acting brand new about it. Relationships shape habits, interests, and routines. That's normal. What's not normal is how fast people jump to narratives about control, branding, or Cardi changing herself for a man. If this is accurate, and again, we're talking about public statements, not leaked recordings, then all Diggs did was recognize that Cardi showed up and learned his world. That's not light work, especially for someone who doesn't owe anybody that effort. And let's also address the elephant sitting in the room, the online chaos. Cardi B has been under relentless scrutiny lately. Between her divorce, motherhood, new relationships, and never-ending blog chatter, she's been in the crosshairs non-stop. So Diggs saying she helped him tune out the noise works both ways. Athletes process criticism differently, but the pressure is real. Having a partner who understands public backlash is valuable. That's not PR, that's survival. Now, allegedly, some fans are trying to flip this into a narrative that Cardi is being shaped or converted in a negative way. And I'm calling nonsense on that. Conversion doesn't mean control. It means exposure. Nobody dragged Beyoncé for learning football when she married Jay-Z. Nobody dragged Kira for understanding Russell Wilson's playbook. But Cardi gets judged because people still refuse to see her outside of chaos. Let's be real again. Cardi B supporting football does not erase who she is. It doesn't rewrite her past. It doesn't make her less authentic. If anything, it shows adaptability. And that's something the internet loves to preach but hates to see in practice. People say grow, evolve, do better. But the moment someone actually does, suddenly it's suspicious. You'll also need to stop acting like Cardi B is sitting there with a rule book being forced to memorize stats. This is a grown woman choosing to support her partner. Period. If she's learning the game, asking questions, showing up to games, that's her choice. And if Diggs appreciates that, is allowed to say it out loud. Now, I want to hear from you on this part specifically because this is where opinions really divide. Do you think Stefon Diggs was genuinely giving Cardi B her flowers for stepping into his world? Or do you think the wording rubbed people the wrong way because of how the internet already feels about their relationship? You'll let me know what you'll think in the comments. What people are really reacting to here is not what Stefon Diggs said. It's what his statement represents in the bigger picture. Cardi B is a woman the public has boxed into chaos, scandal, and noise for years. So when she's seen being calm, supportive, and fully locked into a partner's world, it disrupts the narrative. And instead of adjusting their perspective, folks get uncomfortable. Because let's be honest, a lot of people only know how to consume Cardi when she's arguing, clapping back, or trending for controversy. Seeing her in supportive girlfriend mode doesn't match the caricature people have been pushing on her. This is where gender expectations start creeping in loud. When a woman adjusts to a man's world, especially a high-profile athlete, folks instantly assume submission. But when men adjust to women's worlds, it's praised as growth or maturity. That double standard is loud. Cardi learning football gets framed as her changing herself. But Diggs learning how to move through rap culture, public scrutiny, and celebrity gossip would never be labeled the same way. That imbalance is exactly why this conversation feels so charged. Let's also talk about the word converted, because that's what really sent people over the edge. Some folks heard it and instantly jumped to control narratives, but context matters. In everyday language, people say, "He converted me to sushi. She converted me to Pilates. They converted me to their team." It's casual language, not a confession of dominance. But because it's Cardi B, every word gets treated like evidence in a trial that only exists online. It really makes you wonder why people refuse to let her just exist in a relationship without turning it into a power struggle. Cardi B has been the breadwinner, the headline, the cultural force for years. The idea that she's suddenly being molded or reshaped by a man ignores everything we watch her survive and build. If anything, choosing to show up quietly for someone after years of chaos is a form of control over her own narrative, not surrender. Another uncomfortable truth is that some fans don't like seeing women center men in any capacity, even when it's healthy. Support has been rebranded as weakness online, especially for women with loud personalities. Cardi can run a tour, raise kids, dominate charts, and still care about her partner's career. Those things aren't mutually exclusive, but social media acts like they are. And let's not ignore how sport culture plays into this too. Athletes' partners are often expected to be present, supportive, and involved, but only if they stay silent and invisible. Cardi doesn't do invisible. So when she shows up loud, proud, and authentic, it disrupts the NAWG stereotype people are comfortable with. She's not shrinking herself to fit the NFL aesthetic, and that's what's really rubbing people wrong. If this is true in the sense that Diggs feels supported and Cardi feels included, then this relationship dynamic is actually pretty standard, just magnified because of who they are. Two public figures learning each other's worlds, defending each other from noise, and choosing alignment over performance. That's not light work in an environment designed to tear couples apart. What also needs to be said is that fans sometimes project their own relationship trauma onto celebrities. A lot of the backlash feels less about Cardi and more about people's unresolved issues with compromise, vulnerability, and partnership. It's easier to label something problematic than to admit you've never experienced mutual support at that level. So here's the real question you all should be asking yourselves. Why does it bother you more to see Cardi be supporting a man than it ever bothered you to see her in constant conflict? Why is peace suspicious but chaos familiar? You'll let me know what you'll think in the comments, because this conversation says a lot more about the audience than it does about the situation.